We're with Eastern head softball coach Diana Pepin. We're at the new Eastern Connecticut State University softball field, which is nearing its completion. Di, you guys played on the road for 2 years. You and the players must be pretty excited.
We're ecstatic. We really are. I think it's really come to fruition. We're excited to play on a new surface, a new field, and start really a new tradition of continuing from the last tradition. So just being able to have a practice facility as well as playing our home games will be it'll be a great experience. I think that the field itself is top-notch. There's nothing that we went without as far as the playing surface, so the players are really excited to know that they're going to be able to practice on campus and play on campus next year.
We're going to talk a little bit about that later, about what the problems were when you didn't really have your own field. This project has been undergoing for quite a number of years. Now, were you the kind of person were you monitoring this progress of this field over the last 6-7 years? Were you monitoring it very closely?
Well, I mean, there were certain stages that I couldn't be involved in. From day one, 2001, when we started the process, when we got with the architects and we said, you know, we wanted the field this way, or we wanted certain distances based on the NCAA, such as the outfield's 200, the center field is 225. There were certain things that we wanted within the plans, and then the architects went to work. And then there was a long period where we had nothing to do with it because we didn't have the funding. The bond funding came through, and then that's when we really got to work and started the process of developing the field. And I met every 2 weeks with the contractors as well as Chuck Warrington and Nancy Tinker to go over the process and what's being done every week as far as the field is concerned. So I was down here a lot monitoring everything that went on.
Di, based on the Howard Specter Field, Eastern's former on-campus facility, were there certain things, certain characteristics of that field that you sort of wanted carried over to this field to keep it that kind of feel?
I think no, I never even thought about that, only because that's such a special place. It's where I played. It's where 5 national championships were played on that field. I wanted to bring the close-knit feel, but we're not on campus, so we can't necessarily get that. We just wanted a quality playing surface, and I think we got that here. As far as Howard Specter, there will never be another Howard Specter, and I don't think we can replace that, nor the memories that were made there.
Well, as you mentioned, you played there. You were an assistant coach there. You've been a head coach there. Will you get completely accustomed to this new field right away?
I don't know. It is tough. I still get sentimental over the Anderson Award every year because he was such a huge part of my life and my coaching. So I think that it would take me some time, but it's softball. I'm going to be ready from day one, and we're going to go at it, and I'm not going to think about, what happened over here. We're going to focus on what we can do better and can stay at this competitive level for hopefully a lifetime that I'm here.
Well, you talked about one thing. You said it's still softball. And I remember when you guys lost your field, you were on the road for 2 years. I remember you very adamantly said to your team that we're not going to use that as an excuse. We're going to just put that was very important. You're right. We're going to put that aside. We're just going to go out and play. It doesn't matter where we play, correct?
That is correct, because I felt like if I put that to them and said we're not going to use it as an excuse, then they couldn't go back on that, and they couldn't have anything to fall back on. We had to go out hard and play competitive softball, and it didn't matter where we were playing. And in this day and age, they play a lot of travel ball, so they're always on the road anyway. So I think they're accustomed to that. But just reinforcing, you know what, this is what it is, and we're going to do the best we can, and we're going to play Eastern softball, and that's just the way I made it.
Di, when you don't have a home field, all people think of is, oh, well, where are you going to play your home games? But that was probably the least of your problems. How do you arrange practice?
Practice was tough. I think it really hurt us in the national tournament because the practice facility that we were on didn't have outfield fences, so we never had our cutoffs done properly.
Yeah,
we were always sprinting after balls rather than it hitting the fence and then getting it in and having a cut. We always had double cuts, which isn't really realistic in the grand scheme of things for softball at the highest level. So I think that's where we lost a little bit of our fundamentals. But it was a basic field. We didn't have mounds. for the pitchers to pitch off of, so it was really hard to have them perfect their technique when they're in a ditch, so to speak, or not on a mound pushing off. So I think we suffered a little bit, but we were able to get through it with the talent that we had, and also the hard work the kids put in, knowing what they wanted to accomplish.
Well, Di, talk about talent. I mean, you guys said you won 2 regional championships in the last 2 years. You brought in some really good talent the last couple of years. How do you sell Eastern without a field? It's just a blueprint at that point.
Right. Well, that was kind of a side note. I sold the school, I sold our program, and what we were trying to accomplish and what our ultimate goal which is to win a national championship. So I sold that part of it. I also think what sold was the players that we have are such great kids and are competitive that they really took to the recruits and engaged with them, and that's why they came to Eastern. And Eastern's a great campus, and I told them it would eventually come, that the field would come. I just didn't know exactly when. And there were recruits where the Lindsay Sevilles of era, where I told her we'd have a new field, and she played on Howard Specter for 4 years. So, but I couldn't promise anything, and I guess just selling the school and selling our program and our players is really what got the talent here.
Was there a certain point fairly recently where you said this is going to happen for this year?
I guess until January, when Governor Malloy did the bond fund and I was there, that's when I knew it was there. And until that moment, I just felt like it was a blueprint, and God, are we going to be on the road? And I can't sustain this level of competition for another couple of years being on the road.
Yes, you might be able to do it for a year or two, but long term,
it would just be, people would start to say, well, it's never coming, so why would I go to a school that doesn't have a field?
Yes.
So it helps that we're as competitive as we are, especially the last 2 years. Kids that play top-notch travel ball, they want to go to a quality program, and I think that's what we have, is a quality program.
Is the first home game March 27th?
Yes.
Anything special planned in the works for that?
As of yet, no, but we will hopefully invite the contractors back, and they'll be able to come out and really see what a game is like at the college level and what they did to help us get the quality field that we have. And I think that, in the planning stages right now, we'd like to get people back that have had an impact on getting this field here, like maybe Susan Johnson and President Nunez, and all the people that have come together to help us get this field.
Di, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.